just want to welcome you to our third principle, high expectations and equity. So we've spoken about relationships, partnerships, and today it's the third principle. So high expectations and equity is all about believing in all children's capabilities to succeed, regardless of circumstance and ability. Each child deserves a program that is challenging, supportive, and responsive to who they are, and that's what we're going to discuss today. Children progress well when parents and educators hold high expectations in learning. How do you have high expectations as an educator? Well, you believe that all can succeed. You believe all children progress with high expectations. You recognize barriers in all domains, and then you respond to those barriers. You promote inclusion. You avoid age-appropriate expectations, and you're open to how children develop. And you provide challenging experiences. Holding high expectations requires reflection on your teaching. Learning experiences challenge each child. Learning experiences allow children to highlight their strengths and what they are good at. Assessment covers all domains, so strengths and weaknesses are known across learning. And high expectations require a tailoring of each child's learning experience and needs to incorporate their interests and knowledge. Success of all children requires you to understand that equity is a quality that requires us to be fair, impartial, just, and objective. It requires us to develop an inclusive curriculum. A curriculum must reflect diversity and difference of children you are teaching. Don't ignore difference. Recognize children are unique. And you have an individualized support for each child. So here are some practical ideas to develop high expectations and equity, having a culture of that within your early learning setting. So create a learning profile for each student that is updated regularly and covers their background and domains of learning. There I've got a simple learning profile. The left-hand side you can put a picture, and then on the right you can put their name, date of birth, and then information that is relevant, maybe background to their family, their history. And then in the boxes you can add social, emotional, gross motor, fine motor, but you could change those headings as well and include their interests, so it gives you an idea of what they like doing. And you can do this probably a few times throughout the year, just to really get a handle on where children are at different times because they grow. Second thing you could do is make sure that planning accounts for all domains of learning, as well as interests of the children taken from their learning profile. Remember, assessment must cover all domains. Every child must feel like they belong and are treated equally. Some of the things that you can do really focus on the social, emotional side of children. So helping children to succeed, they have to feel safe. So one of the things I love to do in the morning is we have a mat session, and I'll sing, or the class will sing, and we'll all sing together. I wonder what your name is, I wonder if you know your name is. And then they come up and they get a hug, and we all say hello, hello, hello. And the children absolutely love it. You can see them smiling and beaming, and it just sets their day off with such a beautiful tone. So just greeting children, each child every day, is just absolutely priceless. But because I love singing, I'll add singing in. You might not be a singer, but maybe this has inspired you to maybe sing a simple song at the beginning of your day. The other thing to remember is each person is special and needs to be treated in such a way. We don't hurt our friends' feelings, and there is a thought out process that is loving and kind when dealing with children when they are bullied or hurt. So you have a set way of handling children with bullying or any kind of physical threat or anything like that. Children are treated fairly with how you, in particular because you've got a procedure and you've thought it out. So something to consider. Based on your children, you set challenging and exciting learning experiences that consider the child's interests and parents' input. Learning that is tailored to each child. Learning stories are important. So they can reflect interest, they can reflect conversations that you've had with parents and how you've listened to what parents have said and then created learning based on your communication. So here's just a simple example. Mum mentioned Abby was fascinated with puppies and looking after them. The educator made the most of this and created a play experience for Abby. Abby was starting to count, so the educator added a money aspect to the program and play experience and included counters to count to 3. So you could write that up as a story, but that's a way that you're really tailoring a program for an individual child. Just a small example. So another powerful thing of parent-educator meetings. Again, I love surveys. So I love to give parents a survey before we actually meet, and it helps to guide the conversation and helps you to collect relevant information. Sometimes it's wonderful to have a chat, but when you're meeting, it's nice to have a goal with what you're going to talk about, and so you have a plan for the student that you're actually talking about or the child. And always capitalize on the parent's knowledge, and nobody knows their child like they do. So by getting the information from the parent, it could save you months of heartache. Something that could have been asked at the beginning of the year, such a small thing can really help, down the track, maybe with issues that you see later. And I think we've all had those moments where if we had just asked the parent, it might have saved quite a bit of heartache. Or just maybe even created a greater understanding, so you understand that child even more. Have an open line of communication between parents. Be quick to resolve issues. A 5-minute call during the day can save you hours at the end of the day. Parents like to be informed with individual attention as soon as events occur.